Okay, let's continue for the presentations about reading and writing. For the question number 1, I'm going to remind you once more our previous discussion related to these steps in making of the directed writing. Okay, number 1, you're going to have about 40 minutes to for both preparation as well as doing the writing section. Okay, the first one, of course, you're going to read. So here are the steps in making directed writing. So you have to put at the first part before you make the direct writing. Well, you only have about 40 minutes. Okay, in 40 minutes you are going to, it will be divided into several minutes for reading and to understand the reading or the passage. You identify as well as making the draft about what you're going to talk about. And at the last one, of course, it's time for you to write. Okay, now let's continue for the steps in making directed writing. The time is about 40 minutes. Okay, it is 40 minutes. And the first one, you are going to identify that I told you before, craft. C is content that we have already discussed at the previous meeting, but I will remind you once more. So if you do your task, at least you have already understood what you have to do during the reading and writing section for this task. Number 1, content. What is happening in London? Remember, if we are going to be asked to write the reading and writing and the directed writing, remember once more, we have to know what is our character and what about the tenses. Okay, once more, we are not going to use our own perception or our own perspective, but we have to read the rule or select the requirement first. Okay, what is the content? The content is happening in London. The impact plague is having of your family and others you may know. So at the first time, if you read what is happening in London, means that you have to talk what is happening in London. So you have to use simple present continuous tense instead of simple past. What's happening in London means that you are writing what is happening in London at the moment. The second part is the impact of the plague is having of your family and others you may know. Remember, you are a mother with your family, so you have to talk about what happened, what is happening at that time once more, and what is the impact with your family and others that you know. Okay, so I have to remind you once more because sometimes we get confused about the tenses we are going to use, right? So look the character, look what is our role, as well as the content. What is the situation? Situation is in simple present continuous tense or in the past. You have to follow the rules. And the last one is your hope. Remember, once more, still talking and using simple present tense, simple present continuous tense, as well as present perfect tense instead of simple past. Except you are going to retell a story, but after you write the content or you read the content, you have to know register. You are going to be who, I, she, his mother, a mother. So you are going to be the first person. Register I as a mother of a young family. Okay, although you are a man or you are a boy, but you have to remember that you are a mother. Pretending that you are she. Okay, I as a mother with some children, for example, like that. Okay, whoever you are, but your role or your character is a mother. Okay, and the audience is, because it is a personal letter, the audience is my brother. Okay, my brother, because you're going to write a letter to your brother, right? And the purpose why you need to write the letter, to write the letter informing my brother about what is happening in London. Okay, the next part is letter. Okay, the form is letter. Then we are After you identify this question as well as the character of who you are, now we are going to write the next part is the main idea. So you have to write the main idea of the paragraph 1. So you're not allowed to out of this idea. This is the main idea. Okay, you will not rewrite what actually written here, but you have to put it, put the main idea. You're not allowed to create by yourself, but you have to write based on the main idea, based on the content you are asked to write. So remember once more, you're not allowed to out of these kinds of the rules. Okay, after you write the main idea, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, till the last paragraph. Okay, so you write, okay, for example, it's pretending that it is in January 1666 to my beloved brother, okay, my beloved brother in Liverpool, or you may write Manchester or wherever outside of London. Okay, dear my brother, I'm afraid that terrible things are happening in London. Okay, so please remember, at the previous meeting you were learned about complex sentences and about the linking devices. Okay, I have already give some signs here. The red color are the linking devices, or we can call it the connectives. We can use as, okay, we can use furthermore to talk about additional information. Sorry, I'm afraid that terrible things are happening in London. Is it the linking devices?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
what do you think?
It's not a linking.
It is the
It's not.
that is
It's o-
it is noun clause. Okay,
Noun clause,
noun
yes.
clause. It could be like I'm afraid it. I'm afraid it, and we change it into another sentence. Terrible things are happening in London. So it is noun clause, or we call it complex sentence that have already been explained by your previous teacher on Saturday. Okay, in this directed writing, you should remember there are some of the, yeah, it's like the tenses that you have to use, as well as the complex sentences and the connectives or linking devices, devices or connectives like as, since, furthermore, due to. This is the connectives or of reason. Okay, and then conjunction of reason.
Adjective.
It is adjective clause. Why? This is more understandable. So it's like I can write like this. Can you imagine my brother about it? So I change it into I'm here with some children, and even we can't go anywhere. So it's like more. There is a sentence or two sentences that to explain more about. Can you imagine my brother? Okay, to talk to the brother. Complex sentences and then connectives or linking devices, it to make your writings better. Okay, so at this time I would like to talk once more about, yeah, maybe in writing I have already checked some of the students who have already sent to me your previous letter. Mostly are were very good. Your previous letter, but I want to remind you once more about the tenses we have to use. Okay, the tenses, we are not going to use the simple past. Except you are going to retell once of the case. Why? Because the content you are talking about what is happening in London. Okay, so the as if you are at the situation at this time. At this time you are at the situation. Okay, please have a look at the next part. Many of them are killed by the citizens. The dogs and cats. While others think, okay, I use think instead of thought. Why? Because we are use the, because once more, because we are at the position at the present. We talk about that we are at a time at the moment. Okay. Next.
He.
Yeah. Okay. Now, please have a look. While others think that the outbreak caused by rats and fleas, which prove the dirty things around it. Okay, what about this? Is it noun clause or adjective clause or what? Yeah, that is non-clause, right? That the outbreak caused by rats and fleas. Which, what about which? Which is? Saying that the outbreak caused by rats and fleas, which proof. So what about this? Please use your microphone, guys. Microphone and camera. Which proof? Which? Is it non-clause or adjective clause?
Adjective clause.
Good.
Dirty things surrounded the area.
Yeah, because we explained that because of the rats and fleas, prove the dirty things around it. Yes, good. So it's like we are going to give more explanation, or like you give more explanations about rats and fleas. Okay, next. What about the dirty things around it? Okay, you also talk about the impact because it is asked by the writers, right? To have it. And then, okay, next. The condition of the victims is so terrible, my brother. The ones who, what about this? What about this? The ones who, adjective clause or adjective phrase?
I choose clause.
Clause, okay, good. What? Adjective clause. Clause is a sentence, right? Clause is a sentence, right?
okay.
Yeah. So you are going to explain about the subject or about the noun. It is nouns, right? The one is a noun, right? Person or it could be a thing is a noun. So at this adjective clause, you are going to explain a noun using the sentence. Clause is a sentence. Adjective is the word that used to explain noun. Okay, kata sifat. That's why we call it adjective clause. Well, this one, the house will be given a sign. Please look at this, the thing that I point, which, yeah, what about this one? The house will be given a sign which indicates, what about this?
Adjective phrase.
Adjective,
Phrase.
still adjective clause. Why? Because indicates that the inhabitants of the house can't be get out. It is also a sentence, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is a sentence, right? It indicates, but
Yes.
I changed it into the house will be given a sign which indicates. I didn't put it because I have already use sign. I will explain about the sign. I will explain about a noun. The noun is a sign. So that's why I will compare. In this sentence, I explain about a noun or about a noun, non-living noun. Well, this one, the ones is a person or people, right? So it means adjective clause can be used of living or non-living ones or things. Okay. So I just want to remind you about the complex sentence that have already been explained before. I explained about the sign, So that's why I call it adjective clause, because the thing that will be explain the sign is a sentence. Okay. So that's why I called adjective clause. Do you understand? Do you understand, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Good. What about this also? I said it is an adjective clause. Why? Because I use who, okay, to connect these sentences to explain about once. Okay, about once. Okay, then we change noun into a sentence. While adjective clause, we explain the noun with a sentence.
56. My brother Jerry in Manchester. Greetings, brother. I am afraid that terrible things are happening in London. The outbreak happened a couple of months ago, and my family and I have since felt unsafe. As you know, the outbreak happened from February, and since then we have avoided going out for unnecessary things. A lot of people have lost their life due to this epidemic. Can you imagine how scary the situation is to the children? Luckily, Andrew has been nothing but wonderful in making the children calm. Because of the epidemic, Andrew lost his job and a lot of his friends did. Our source of money now is from our savings years ago before our marriage, and I'm afraid if it's not going to be enough for our family until the the plague is gone. The children has been very helpful. They had stopped crying and whining ever since they understood how bad the situation is. Yesterday, me and Andrew went to the bakery to search for breads and can't believe how deserted the streets was. There were only the poor and their condition were not good. You won't know how much I wanted to help, but I can't. I pray to the gods above for this epidemic to stop. Everything went into chaos the second this plague spread. Look at how much life wasted, how much work delayed, and let's not talk about economics. I hope that you're safe, Jerry. May God always protect our family, and I hope that this all ends before the birth of your child, and may He brings hope for us all. Say my greetings to your wife and Lucy. I love you, brother. Yours sincerely, Aisha.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Good? Yeah. Do you have any
Yes.
suggestion for your
Very good.
friends?
It sounds very realistic.
Okay, talking about the realistic, right? Yeah, it's like it is not so formal, right? Because you are talking about you are going to send something to your brother, so it is. Not, but the things that I will ask you, Aisha, have you already counted the numbers of the words? It more than 250 till 350 words? Because for the direct
Uh,
speaker,
I
Again,
have
the
not.
please.
sorry.
I have not counted the words.
Okay, so it should be
For Surya, my brother who lived outside of London, in the February of that year, and within 7 months, 100,000 Londoners had died. One fifth of the population lost their life. At the one point in September, it was registered that 165 people had died in just 1 week. Even worse, by hot summer of 1965, that escalated the spread of the disease to uncontrollable level. The causes of the plague were much debate, and different people believe different things. Some that say roaming cats and dogs were responsible, and so dog killers were appointed. 40,000 dogs and 200,000 cats were slaughtered on the diseased street of London. However, more likely was the scenario that disease-ridden fleas were carried around the city on the bodies of oblivious rats and in full view of unconcerned crowds. Rats were very prevalent in London at a time when waste, both domestic and human, was left on the street. The putrid stench of human waste attracts the curious and hungry rats, their sinewy bodies frantically skewered through the mounds of rancid waste. Even their oil body, they carried a minuscule enemy unable to be seen by the naked eye. And if I'm a mother in a family affected by the plague, I will make my whole family stay at home until this outbreak is over, because this epidemic is so dangerous that so many people die. And I will give that can filter. Is so dangerous that I fear that if the disease hit street road, the world will wipe out part of the human population. Also, I'm afraid that the world economy will decline and
I love active classes. Well, let's continue to Darrell. Darrell, where are you?
Please.
Yes?
Asik.
Darel.
Darel, please
Okay.
wake up.
I don't have camera, miss.
You have to.
Lahir.
Okay, I switch to my phone. Give me 1 second, okay, miss?
Okay. We are waiting for the next speaker is Darel.
To John Hamilton.
Padahal diketik nggak ditulis.
Yeah.
I
It should be writing, right? Handwriting instead of typing.
oh,
Yeah, just talk to Darel.
no, I use the time machine to 1665. So
Oh.
yes, so I type.
Yeah, as well as caffeine.
Okay.
And even I can read what actually caffeine wrote. Therefore, I just put the hand typing. Okay, come on, Darrell, please read.
Okay. Dear John, I am afraid that terrible things are happening. Wait, why is bergema again?
No problem, just read.
I don't know.
No problem.
Okay. Dear John,
Double.
I am afraid that terrible things are happening in London. There has been an outbreak of a terrible virus. They said that the plague was caused either by dogs and cats or by fleas and rats that occupy the streets, especially on the dirtier streets. The once filled city of London is becoming a ghost town. There is no one around, as everyone is isolating themselves at home. People who have caught the plague are locked in their rooms, especially in poorer households. People who have got the plague are locked in their rooms for 40 days and 40 nights. And a red X was drawn in front of their doors. I feel bad for them because they can't afford to leave London and they can only wait either for the disease to end or for their inevitable death. Me and my family are isolating ourselves. Only one of us goes out once a week to get food. My kids can't go to school and me and Jack is my husband, are teaching them because I'm a girl.
Yeah, good. You are good. Darrell,
I'm a young
you are
mother.
correct. Hello?
Me and disease will end soon, and I hope no, that's not true. It's the casualties. I hope the casualties will be low as possible. I'm scared that my family will get the disease and that they will be locked or taken by force. Me and Jack are still deciding if we should leave this city or not. The train station is really busy, so we don't know if we'll get tickets or not. Will oh itu ada koma harusnya ya, Miss. We'll just wish wait no nggak jadi ada koma. Nggak jadi koma. We'll just wish us the best, I guess. Sincerely.
Okay, thank you, Martha.
Governor.
Thank you, Martha.
Yes.
Okay, I love
Yes.
your letter, but remember once more. Okay, please count how many words actually you have to write.
Oh, there is 263.
Really?
Yes, there is the counter in down there.
Really? 26.
Oh, there was no any words limit, miss.
Okay, the limitation
I
is
thought there is
250.
no
You you may have looked at the previous
no word
pages.
limitation.
You may have looked at the previous pages that it should be more than 250 till 350. Okay?
Yes.
So
This
250.
is-
It is
I
for the
did not know.
directed writing. It is 250 till 350. Please remember that. So every kinds of the question will be different. So especially for the directed writing, I have already watched from YouTube channel that I have already sent you. Chantik, have you already shared it to the group, right? Okay. It is also written that you have to write at least 250 till 350. Same as the book I have already printed out. All of them were talking about the regulation should be more than 250. Okay, if it has already been 260 means that you use the very small font, I guess. That's why 260 is like a very few sentences. Okay, let's continue to your yeah. But I love your letter. It is good. I love it. But remember,
Yes.
if it is everyone, it should be. It should be.
Writing. Written. Huh?
Everyone is isolating themselves, right? Is it correct? Themselves?
Yes.
Everyone is themselves?
Everyone is isolating
No.
their
Themselves
wait,
refers to? Themselves refers to?
Everyone.
Is it correct? Themselves? Is it B?
I don't know.
His?
Emang harusnya apa?
Is it B? Him or herself?
Kan everyone.
Everyone is.
Everyone.
Everyone is. It is singular, right?
But
I don't know. I don't
It is singular.
understand the theory.
It is singular.
Okay, okay. So
Example.
everyone is isolating.
No problem if you say everyone's. Everyone's. You mean that you will use once or no problem. If you think you are going to use for the plural, no problem. But you will not use like this. No, you will not.
Okay, me.
Yeah. Okay, good. Next,
Yes.
me and me. Is it singular?
No.
Sorry. Is it the subject or object?
should be fat man.
It is subject or object?
It is I don't know. Subject, I think. I don't know. I just write it. I don't understand the theory there.
Yeah, you have to know the theory. So if you are going to write it at the first part, no problem for speak up. For the direct speech, no problem. Me and my family, no problem. But for the handwriting, you have to write it. I and my family, and my family or my family. Yeah. So you have to write I for the subject, me for object, for handwriting. Okay. Okay, I think it is only a very small mistake. It's not too many because you have already written it well. Okay, I love that, Marta. Okay, I
Yes.
hope that you and your husband will be
Kita
very happy.
belasatin dikit. Kita belasatin dikit bisa ngaco tuh.
I hope you,
Sorry.
Marta. I hope you and I hope you and your husband are very happy. Okay, and the outbreak will be end. Okay, let's continue for the next part. Who?
Okay,
Cantik or
bye-bye.
Kavin? Thank you. Kavin or Cantik? Which one is going to be the first?
Kavin.
Kavin, okay. We will go to Kavin.
Hello?
Hello, Kavin. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. I will.
Tidak ada miss.
Hello.
Oh, sorry,
Why?
sorry.
3 St. Northam Street. Whiteshire upon Kent. Dear beloved brother, I am afraid that terrible things are happening in London. We have just returned from Her Majesty the Duchess' yearly retreat in Leeds. Our convoy was not informed of the horror that will greet us once we arrived. It was the second week of May. At first, at the outskirts of the city, there was a man pushing a wagon full of bodies with a boy carrying a shovel. Once we arrived in the city, it was not the same city that we left from weeks before. Bodies were carried off the streets. Houses were marked with red crosses and the phrase, "Lord, have mercy upon us." Eleanor jumped off our wagon and ran to her house. Has hell descended upon us?
Sorry?
We were rushed to the city of London.
Hmm?
There, Her Majesty the Duchess met with His Majesty the King. The King, in His Majesty's court. I was able to eavesdrop their conversation. It is said that this calamity had started in February, a week after we left for Leeds. That calamity is an illness with never seen before damage to humanity. The maids and myself were given temporary quarters in the tower. We are ordered not to leave the tower if we still love our mortal life. Some maids plan to escape through the windows of their quarters. All I see from the window in my quarter is the Lord's anger that has fallen upon London. O Lord, have mercy upon us. Until now, I have not heard a single word from my beloved family. O Cassius, Philip, and Clement, O Lord, please spare them from your wrath. This morning, we were informed that His Majesty the King and his companions had left London with the veil of the night. The maids that tried to escape were caught and were brought to the dungeon. From my window, day by day, I noticed more and more red crosses in the doors of houses, more trolleys and wagons carrying dead carcasses and bodies, and more people fighting in the streets below for mere bread. It seems that it is only a matter of time, a matter of when, before the purgatory fire cleanses us of this horror. Never in the darkest nights and in the brightest of day, that I do not cry, that I do not pray for our well-being. May this plague end soon. Till then, may Lord have His mercy upon us.
Okay, that's all, Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Now, please give your explanation regarding to Kevin's letter. What do you think? Are you big? Do you become a mother for some children, Kevin?
He did not become a mother.
You did not become a mother, right, Kevin? Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Okay, I love your quality of handwriting is very good. Sorry, it is a handwriting, right?
It's the
Okay,
That's not
Kevin, really, I love the way you are writing. But remember, your position is as a mother.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you are not like a king. You're not like a princess with a very so many troops, very simple like that. So before you do,
Hello?
yeah, Kevin, would you please explain to me?
No. Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, Kevin.
Sorry, what, miss?
Okay, my question: have you already read what actually your character is?
Yes, a mother.
A mother. Is it a mother?
Yes.
In which part do you indicate that you're a mother?
Hello? What, miss?
In which part do you think that you are mother for some children, for the young family?
I thought until now I have not heard a single word for my beloved family.
But you're,
And then,
but you are with your family, with
What,
your
miss?
children.
yes.
Okay, and in which part you indicate that you were talking to your brother?
And
The first part, right? Okay, the first part. Okay, there was a man pushing a wagon. Okay, guys, what do you think, guys? It's very good, actually. It was very good. It is a very good letter, actually. But what do you think compared to the characters or compared to the content given by the question? Hello, others, please give me your evaluation, guys. Hello. Cantik. Marshanda. Salma. Okay. Adli Bari, are you going to say
Hello,
something? Yeah, Bari. Okay, come on. Give me.
Hello?
Yes, come on. Bari.
Yes?
Yeah, please give me your
The
evaluation
PDF is not
about your friend's work.
What?
Please give me your evaluations about your friend's work.
French Revolution? Huh?
No. Please give me your evaluation about
Oh, evaluation.
Kevin.
Good.
Good. Remember, while you are doing something, okay, you have to write what you are going to be, as well as the situation. It is a young family, or it is actually talking about that you are at the kingdom or